I remember.
No, I didn't forget. I sent you a message right in there, and I
I
guess you
just turned
didn't
my light.
see it,
I didn't.
but
It's
that's
all
good.
good.
That's good. It's recorded.
Yeah, yeah, we good. We good. So, all right. So I'm about to share my screen. I'm not gonna be able to see y'all. So, Chrissy, what's going on? Peace and love to you. Welcome to class. Welcome back. Chrissy, you there? Maybe she don't hear me. All right, here we go. Here we go. Um, Let me know. Can y'all see my screen?
Yep.
Y'all see my screen? Somebody else just doing
I don't
stream.
know.
All right, Ariella, if you can see my screen, what does the first slide say?
It says class 3. What is disease and sickness? With herbalist Mikael. All sickness starts within and never without.
Good. Class 3 is going to be touching on what is disease and what is sickness. All sickness starts within and never without. This is my belief. Just really looking at how the body was made, looking at the structure. It's just as simple as this. Rashad, if you had a strong security system, right? Cameras and all, uh, alarm system, let's say you had some watchdogs just in case, how likely would somebody or unlikely would somebody be able to break in your house?
That would be highly unlikely.
It'd be highly unlikely. And they'll probably try to examine the house, see what they can do, but most likely they won't be able to enter in. Off trying to with them just counting the odds of what would it be for them to actually escape? And I think they'll realize they can't escape. Well, that's the same thing with your body. If you have a strong defense system, a strong security system with hound dogs and pit bulls and Rottweilers surrounding it, nothing will try to enter in. So therefore, if that is the case dealing with the body, how can somebody catch a disease? And the only way you can catch anything is if you exchange bodily fluids. If you're gonna catch something, it's only by way of you exchanging by anything outside of you. It's only by way of you exchanging bodily fluids. Other than that, you cannot catch a cold. You cannot catch a fever. You understand that?
Yes.
All right, let's keep going. All right, and I put these questions because when you are not only when you're dealing with your families and you're dealing with yourself, but when you start to get in the element of working with others outside of your families and yourself, these are the questions that you should start asking within yourself while examining somebody. So these are the questions. If God created us with a defense system, how was it compromised? Does anybody on here think that Yah made or God made us wrong? Does anybody think that God made us wrong at all?
No.
No? That's right.
Nope.
Everybody agree with that, right? He didn't, right? So therefore, it can only, because God makes no mistakes, nor does he change. So it can only be by way of us putting ourselves in a situation that compromises us. No different than a landlord. When a landlord gives you the apartment or house, does he give you the apartment or house dirty and filthy? or does he give you the house or apartment totally clean, up to par, no stains, no nothing? I'm talking about a good landlord.
Clean and
They
everything.
Right, they give it to you clean. They usually make sure everything is clean, so much so that they got a contract to say if you don't return this how it was before you got it, there will be a fine. Well, guess what? That's the same thing when it comes to your body and the landlord being the Most High, is that every time you do something to it and it's time for you to return that vehicle, you get fined. Every time it's time to get a checkup, you get that red box checked as it not being up to par, or there's some kinks in the hole or in the armor. Next question. What is the root cause of the disease? What is the root cause of the disease? So I'm gonna ask Rashad, if somebody says, I'm having constipation issues within my gut, what should be the two things that pop up in your head first? What organ should pop up in, or what system should pop up in your head first?
Oh, digestive system for gut issues.
And what else?
And wouldn't it be the lymphatic as well?
There you go. The digestive system and the lymphatic system. But there should be one more too. What other organ, if you're being backed up, what other organ could be also backed up? If your lymphatic system is backed up, that means possibly what else could be backed up, Ariella?
I don't know the answer to this one. Sorry.
Think about it. Filtration. Shay, if your lymphatic system is down, what else could possibly be down? Huh?
Are you talking about a system or an organ?
The organ.
The kidneys?
Good job. The kidneys. Great job. And if there may be a problem with the kidneys, we for sure know there got to be a problem with what, Ariella?
I don't know. I need to study. Sorry.
It's all good. Rashad, what you got for me?
Would it be the thyroid?
What's before the thyroid? It is a gland. But which gland?
Pituitary gland?
No. Give one more shot. Anybody? What sits on top of the kidneys?
The adrenal gland?
The adrenal glands. There we go. Good job. The adrenal glands. They on fire today. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next question you should ask yourself. You already said. If one organ or system is compromised, what else is compromised? That's always be your question. Always. Next question. What were the signs before a noticeable impact of the disease? Meaning this, constipation is a sign. They're having issue using the restroom. Eczema is a sign. Acne is a sign. That's showing you that the body is in dis-ease. Tonight, y'all gonna know how to read people before they even speak. You understand?
Yeah.
Y'all gonna know how to analyze people before they even look. Y'all gonna be like me. Once I started to figure this stuff out, folks be talking to me. We having a whole regular conversation. I'm looking at their eyes. I'm looking at their cheeks. I'm looking at their neck, their hands, how they talking. Because now I'm analyzing if this and it's crazy because it's like automatic. You don't mean to, but you so tapped in now in tune with what health looks like. You gonna start reading people without them even asking. I remember one time, this crazy. I was getting interviewed by somebody, and they it's talking. I couldn't help but to look in their eyes, and I saw brown spots in their eyes. And so I knew at that moment, I said, they got liver issues. So they talking to me, and I'm like, hey, excuse me, you mind if I share something with you? And they're like, yeah, good. I say, notice that you got brown spots in your eyes. And, according to my understanding and study, you have liver issues. And they was taking away that I said it because they really were having some issues. And like, how did you know? I'm like, your eyes give it away. And that's what your body do. I keep telling y'all, your body will tell on you. The biggest snitch in the world is your body. The biggest snitch in the world is your body. And your body don't lie. It cannot lie. It cannot lie. Okay? So let's get to it. So what is disease of the body? What is dis-ease of the body? A dis-ease or ailment is a particular abnormal condition that negatively affects the structure. Negatively affects the structures. No different than if you ever go see an army and they're marching, they're all moving with the same cadence, they're all moving with the same authority, they're all saying the same thing. If somebody were to bum rush the line and knock them off their good foot, that means he has now broken their structure. You understand? Everybody understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Therefore, if he has broken the structure, he is now taking them off balance and rhythm. Right? So that's what disease is. It takes the body off structure and rhythm. So it said the negative effects, the structure, function, and balance. Remember, when you think of balance, what words should you think of, y'all?
Homeostasis.
Homeostasis. I'm talking about, y'all. I heard it. I'm talking about, man. Homeostasis. So now you off rhythm. And it says of all or part of an organism, and that is not immediately due to an external injury. So you see that? They're telling you that a disease is not from anything external. All things happen within, y'all. All things. Diseases are oftentimes associated with specific signs and symptoms. Now here's the crazy part. I want y'all to really understand what's being said here. How many of y'all have heard that a fever is a sickness?
I
heard it's a symptom of a sickness.
You heard it's a symptom?
Mm-hmm.
You're the first person I ever heard say that.
Really?
Most people, especially a lot of doctors, will say a fever is you're sick. They don't say it's a think about it. If you go to the doctor, you have a fever, are they giving you medicine for the actual sickness, or are they giving you medicine for the symptom?
For the symptom.
That's called suppressive therapy. They're not in the business to heal you from the actual sickness. So they convince people that a fever or even throwing up is sickness. You're sick. Where throwing up is not technically sickness, it's actually your body ejecting urgently the sickness. Y'all follow me?
Yes.
That's why I said diseases are often associated, meaning it's not the actual sign and symptom, but it's associated with the sign and symptom as if the sign or symptom is the actual disease. Not realizing a fever or you ejecting vomit or acid is nothing but a sign of your body trying to release the actual disease or sickness.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all following me? So if that's the case, if the fever or me throwing up is not the actual sickness, then I gotta ask the question, what is?
Mm-hmm.
What is the actual sickness? Y'all gonna learn what the actual sickness is today. So it says a disease may be caused by external factors. Now here peek this out, y'all. A disease may be caused by external factors such as pathogens. Anybody know what a pathogen is?
Yes. Well, I assume that it's a like a negative, or like you were saying, good bacteria, bad bacteria. It's like a bad organism that's trying to take over your body, basically.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, real quick, y'all. Hold on. Man, I don't know why this is kicking me up like this. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me get back to sharing my screen again. All right. Can y'all see the screen again? Can y'all see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Ariana, what were you saying before? What did you say a pathogen is?
I was saying it's like a bad organism that's trying to take over your body, basically.
Good. Now, my question to you is if a pathogen is one of the only external things that you can actually catch. What are some forms of catching a pathogenic disease? What are some diseases? What are some pathogenic diseases?
Maybe I don't know. I want to say colds. You could say a herpes.
Good job. Yes, herpes. What else?
Um, well, those like parasites that can be throughout the body, any of them
No, how
would be
can you
pathogens.
actually catch it externally?
What was that?
How can you actually get a pathogen externally?
Um, Touching maybe raw meat or not cleaning your vegetables, I guess, touching it
Good
or
job.
walking barefoot on
Where?
certain surfaces.
Concrete.
Concrete.
You can catch a pathogen walking on concrete. You cannot catch it on grass. Or if you allow a dog to lick you, you said that you can catch it from eating meat. If you're not cleaning off your vegetables and fruits properly, because they spray pesticides, herbicides, and insecticides on it, you can catch pathogens that way. STDs is a way you can catch it as well. But other than that, you can't catch no pathogen from the weather change. You understand that?
Yeah.
So now it says also by internal dysfunctions. But remember, you have good bacteria in the body. You have a good mucosal membrane that secretes mucus. The only way it starts to turn against you is if you put it in the environment to have to turn against you. Just like your cells. An autoimmune disease is your so-called immune system, which is really your lymphatic system, attacking you. You understand?
Yes.
So those are the only ways you can catch anything outside of that. So now it says the etymology of disease comes from the Greek word, which literally means pad, which means feeling or lack of ease and comfort. Also could mean apart like set apart. Meaning this ease or pad is the opposite of ease. It's the opposite of comfort. You understand that?
Yes.
Yes.
So if y'all really want to get a more in-depth study on like really what diseases is and how they come about, there's a subject called the Introduction of Pathology. If y'all see on the slide, I put a suggested book y'all can get from Amazon. It's Robbins and Coltron, Pathologic Basis of Disease. Very good book. This is how you really start to understand how disease comes in the body. Because think about it, that's the root. This means opposite or against. Ease. It's against ease of the body. It's something that's against the ease of the body. Y'all gotta understand, they play a lot of word sorcery and a lot of meshing of words. And they telling you right in the face what it is without saying it. That's all it is. So if that's the case, it really comes down that there is actually no such thing as this ease as far as how they make it. You understand?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'm gonna say it again. When you actually look at it from a pathological and cellular perspective of if you already are created with a defense system that I believe that man has no power over the Most High. So he created you with this strong system to protect you. The only way that strong system can get put down is if the one who is renting the vehicle or renting the house decides to turn off the security system. So that means when you look at it from that perspective, you can not only can you not catch anything, but there really is no such thing as disease, but really it is the body out of what, y'all?
Homeostasis, balance.
It's out of
Out
balance.
of balance.
That's all it is. It is out of balance. No different than if Shay is standing on one leg versus two. If I push her a little bit, she will what?
Fall. Lose her balance.
Lose
Or
balance.
she will stumble.
Mhm.
And she will lose balance. But if she have 2 feet down, what's the likelihood? I mean, obviously by nature, but what's the likelihood if I just give her that same little small push that she gonna fall over?
It's not as likely.
Not as likely. So therefore, is it that I overpowered Shay to why she has stumbled, or she had just taken herself off balance and weakened her strength to the point that I'm able to just slightly touch her and she fall over? Which one?
Second one.
Okay. So now, does everybody understand truly what disease is?
Yeah.
I only heard one person.
Yes.
Yes.
Rashad, you understand?
Yes.
Zay, you understand? Is Zay still on here? I can't see, so y'all have to tell me we still on here.
Yeah, he's on here.
Just showing that he's on there, yeah.
Okay. So now we understand what pathology is. Believe it or not, and when you actually look up the word pathology, this is crazy, y'all. When you look up the word pathology, it's a Greek word. Y'all literally know pathology means the study of suffering. That's what pathology means. The study of suffering. Now I want y'all to remember that word, path. So that means, what is a pathogen? If pathology means the study of suffering, what then could pathogen mean?
An
Something that
organism.
causes suffering. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh, you go ahead.
I said something that causes some suffering.
Oh wait. Let's
Mm-hmm.
see. Pathogen is a silent killer of the body. Pathogen literally means, y'all, the producer of suffering. Hold on. For anything to produce or reproduce, that means it gotta be what? It gotta be alive.
Mm-hmm. I thought you were gonna say
But dead
creative.
things don't produce. Non-living things don't produce. So pathogen literally means the producer of suffering, which can be stemmed from a parasite, which parasite literally means, here's the crazy thing, y'all. Look up the word parasite. Matter of fact, who got their phone available? That you ain't got to get off the screen. Who got their phone available?
I do.
Rashad, I want you to Google the etymology of parasite.
All right.
Watch what he pull up, y'all. The etymology of a parasite.
It says origin Greek, parasitos, and that basically means, it says alongside, and it says food.
This is another definition. Go scroll down a little bit.
Okay.
But those are good definitions too. Food.
Yeah, it says
Long
Yeah.
food. Come on.
and then it says something about parasitos, person eating at another's table.
Ooh-wee.
Yep.
So parasite means a person who's eating at another person's table.
Mm.
Now, what goes on top of the table, y'all? Food. What is food?
Nourishment?
Nourishment, yes, which is nutrition. So now put it in proper perspective. Parasite means one who eats off another's nutrition.
Mm.
Mm.
So, which means to feed or live off another to obtain nutrition. It also means to grow and multiply. So pathogens are the producers of suffering, which can be stemmed from a parasite, bad bacteria, or a virus. And what's a virus? A vaccine. Damn, I shouldn't have said that.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. It's all good, man. So it is what it is. So a virus which is man-made. So that is your vax, your V19s. That also is your malaria shots, your yellow fever shots. What's the chickenpox shots as well? Yeah, those shots as well. All those shots they be trying to offer you as a child and a baby. Those carry viruses. So y'all gotta understand the method and the ideology of the powers that be. If y'all ever paid attention, especially to the crazy little white boys, right? And if you ever see how they try to protect themselves, have y'all ever seen somebody take a snake and they'll take the head and they'll slightly let the snake bite them and take it out? Y'all ever seen that before?
Mm-mm.
No.
Well, believe it or not, this is actually how viruses got, or the V word got birthed. Back in the old days, they would take certain animals and they could do two things. They would either let them bite them a little bit, or they would squeeze the venom into a jar just a little bit and drink it. And they would take a sip of it every day, or let them bite them every day. And that was their method of trying to adapt or try to build a strong immune system against bites. So if something ever really bit them, they would not die.
Mm.
That was their method of creating a V shot. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So that's where they stand from them making viruses. On top of that, they create viruses or the V words as a method of war. If you actually pay attention, before they ever give it to us, they've used these certain vaccines to go attack other nations. No different than if somebody has cancer, they always suggest to them chemotherapy and radiation. And what are they using for the radiation? I learned this from one of my teachers, Yaki. And I actually started to study these things, especially in the book Emergent Viruses. They would use something called mustard gas. If you know anything about mustard gas, mustard gas was the gas they would release when they wanted to go in the midst of their enemies and kill them. So they would release the gas in the midst of them so it can knock them out and paralyze them and kill them while they was killing them off. So now they've taken that same mustard gas that they used to use as a lethal weapon against other people, and now they're using it on us and talking about it's supposed to help your cells by way of called radiation and chemotherapy, which is not even natural light. You
So
see that?
that's mustard gas, the chemotherapy you're saying?
Yeah, it's mustard gas.
Mm.
Mustard gas.
Oh.
So now think about this. Does cancer cause people hair to fall out?
No, it's the chemotherapy, right?
Because what is the chemotherapy doing?
Killing themselves.
Destroys the healthy and what they say the not so healthy cells.
Yep, but not only that, what else is they frying? Who remembers this? Your hair is connected to what?
The brain,
The nerves.
nerves in the brain.
Your nervous system. So if your hair is falling out, not only are they burning your cells, but they're also burning what, y'all?
The nervous system.
Nervous system.
Hmm.
And y'all think that that's actually helps us? No, it kills us. Radiation and chemotherapy is much worse than cancer. And I'm gonna simplify what even cancer is tonight or today. And y'all gonna be like, man, you made that sound so simple, because it really is that simple. The hardest thing about it is one having to give up their own desire just to get rid of the very disease they cause within themselves. That's the hard part. So it reads, the sole function, purpose of a pathogen is to survive and reproduce. I'm gonna say it again. The sole function and purpose of a pathogen is to survive and to reproduce. So now what that means, Shay? If parasites or pathogen is sitting there reproducing, that means they doing what in your body?
Taking over. Destroying.
Not just that. How do you reproduce?
Mating.
They are mating in your body.
That's disrespectful, really.
So disturbing. That's so disturbing, yeah.
They are mating. And you know how many babies they making every day? 30,000.
Oh, wow.
30,000. So now here's the key words. Well, this should be the question. What are they surviving on? And what's the purpose of them reproducing? What are they surviving on? And what is the purpose of them reproducing?
More
Will not
suffering, expand.
Huh?
My guess is to produce more suffering and to expand.
To expand. And we about to find out. Good, that's a good answer. So it says this. By way of crippling the body's self-defense mechanism. So I'm telling y'all, the first thing any robber gonna do so they can have a successful entry in robbery is they're gonna find a way to disable. What are they attacking? What are they attacking first, y'all?
The defense security system.
What's the defense of the body?
Lymphatic.
The immune
The
system.
lymphatic system,
Oh, it's a yeah.
which the immune system and the lymphatic system are the same thing. Yes. What else could they be attacking? Who remembers what else? What's your other self-defense mechanism?
A mucosal membrane system.
Well, they are first attacking your lymphatic system, and then they're attacking your mucosal membrane. Because if they can get those things to shut down and then start to compromise, they then have an easier way to survive and reproduce. So the whole purpose of the pathogen on how they survive is through this. They literally suck the life out of cells, which carries what, y'all? What does that say? It carries what?
Energy.
Anybody see that? Energy, nutrients. These things are literally vampires, y'all. These things are literally vampires. So they are sucking the life out of your cells so that they can live. And through them sucking the life out of your cells so they can live, they start to disrupt the cellular function so that it may live, so it then may go into what? Colonization. Y'all know about colonization.
Yeah.
So now, if you not, this is the crazy thing, y'all. Like, think about this. We are literally having enslavement and colonization and literally war
Yes, sir.
and genocide within our body that then reflects our outward Atlantic slave trade, sub-Saharan slave trade, westernized colonization. It's the same thing. Remember, all things start within.
Mm-hmm.
All things start within. So now the colonization and enslavement first started in our bodies. The death started within our bodies and it's exchanged and it manifested on the outside. I don't think y'all understand what's going on here. It's deep. This is deep. Because this then further proves that you have a war going on in your body. And you either are supporting the war of the enemies or supporting the war of your of those who are in agreement and covenant with you. But you got to choose a side. And every day you pick up some food to eat, you decide whose side you're on. Hey, y'all understanding this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I making this simple for y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. So now we got to figure out, okay, what is the main things that would cause pathogens to survive? Let's read. It said the main substance pathogens feed on are dead organic material. I'm going to say it again. The main things pathogens feed on are dead organic material, such as flesh, which is meat, bad bacteria, which is being created within yourself, acid, creating an awful environment, or an inflamed environment. So, or it could totally survive in a salty environment. How many of us like salt? You salting the hell out some vegetables. So you see that these worms, not only do they create hell, but they flourish off hell in your body. They flourish off heat and flames in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So just as the scriptures say, as in heaven, so on earth, we can now say, as in hell, so on earth. You create your heaven or hell within your body. You create that. You create your world. And guess what? How do we know this? Because you either feeding the parasite or you starving. You either feeding your cells or you are killing your cells by feeding things that's against your cells. Oh, that's deep. That's deep. So it reads, just as we get our energy from foods, so does a pathogen, because a pathogen, as Ariella said, is a living organism. That means this living organism literally has eyes. It has a mouth. It has ears. It even has hairs. It has a vagina. It has a penis. How do we know that? Because they have to reproduce. There's no such thing as a homosexual pathogen. They have to reproduce. That means they also have what? Feelings. They have because that's what they're attacking is feelings. So that's what path means, a feeling. And so guess what? When you sitting there 3 in the morning and all of a sudden you get a sugar rush and you hungry, do you think that's you? No, that is that sweet old worm in you trying to wake you up saying, feed us. See, a lot of the time when you just, if you find yourself, you just ate an hour ago, all of a sudden you hungry, that's not you that's hungry. That's that worm. That's that pathogen. So the only way a pathogen gets access to flourish within the body is if the host give it an environment to flourish in. So ultimately, who creates the disease?
We do.
The host.
The host. Now, I want to show y'all a video. Let me take this off. I'm going to show y'all a video of how they really get down. Show y'all a video real quick. Can y'all see my screen?
Yes.
All right. In about Jay, count to 10. Once you get to 10, tell me if you hear my screen.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can see it, can't hear it.
All right, tell me if you can hear it now. Hold on. You hear it now? You hear it now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hello and
Now,
welcome to Lara Nara.
I definitely want to give a shout out to one of my teachers. He actually pulled this video out a minute ago. I thought he didn't show the whole video, but he had showed just parts of it. And I thought it was pretty interesting because it shows literally live and direct how parasites move from a parascopic point of view within the body. Okay, so I'm gonna just show y'all little scenes of it so y'all can actually see live and direct how parasites move. And if you see the title say what, y'all?
Cancer.
It's a cancer, a parasitical infection. You see that? Because parasites feed on what, y'all? What does parasites feed on? I'm telling y'all, I forgot already. What does parasites feed on, y'all?
Our nutrients.
Where are they getting the nutrients from?
Our cells.
Cells. And what is cancer? Anybody know?
I'm guessing a parasite.
It's like the
It
growth,
has to do with a parasite.
the growth and spread of normal cells.
There you go. It's the growth and spread of acidic dead cells that started to agglomerate and come together. So now you know when you're dealing with cancer, you're dealing with what, y'all? Two things. You're dealing with eroding cells and you're dealing with what?
Parasites.
Parasites. All right, y'all, so here we go. Everybody pay attention.
And today we have a very exciting and highly requested video by you, and this is that of the proof that cancer might be a microparasitical infection. And we promised you this video some weeks ago when we published a video on cancer being a microparasitical infection. If you haven't watched this presentation yet, I'm gonna link it in the description box below. I highly recommend that you go and do so now. And in this video, we're gonna show you the video microscopy of those microparasites, how they behave, and why there is indisputable proof that cancer indeed is a microparasitical infection and that mainstream cancer research has not recognized it yet as such. And this theory was put forward by Dr. Weber and some other scientists from the Max von Pettenkofer Institute, a very renowned institute in Munich, Germany, and unfortunately has not gained much traction despite the proof that you're gonna see in this video. So without further ado, let's watch the video and what those scientists have observed, and you can see for yourself and make up your own opinion and mind. And then afterwards, we're gonna talk about some implications of that proof and some consequences that we can.
Hold on real quick. I think he just came back. Y'all can still hear me?
Yeah.
Can draw from it
Y'all
and
can hear
how
that
we
still?
should behave and how we should treat cancer patients therefore. So without further ado, let's dive right into the video proof of cancer as a parasitical infection. Let's go more than 30 years back in time. At the renowned Pettenkofer Institute in Munich, Germany, 3 German medical doctors, Dr.
Now I want to stop right here real quick. The 1970s, y'all. Before the 70s, there was no such thing as gonorrhea. There was no such thing as herpes. There was no such thing as syphilis. Because all these things were parasitical infections, which all of them before the 1970s was called cancer. You hear me?
Yep.
It was called cancer because all of them eventually, if you have it long enough, will lead to cancer. Because remember, it's dealing with a parasite, a worm, and the parasite needs what to survive?
A host.
Obviously a host, but what the host gotta have?
Cells.
Cells. They feed, the parasite feeds on the cells to get the nutrition. So it sucks the life out of the cells, then the cells turn to eroding cells, and dead cells which start to agglomerate and stack on top of each other, which creates what we call tumors, and tumors start to sit up and swell up and build up on top of the organs or certain parts of the body, which in turn is then called cancer. It's all the same thing, y'all. It's all the same thing. The body at dis-ease, dis-ease, and due to dis-ease is due to pathogens or parasites, bad bacteria that has started to go against the nature of the body, which in turn will start to attack the body and cause the body to be a swelling of inflammation. That's all it is. Let me skip to the next one. Hey, y'all, this so deep right here. Watch this.
Cell and looks for a partner to exchange DNA with.
Let me go back a little bit more.
B. Stick shape. This is the most commonly found shape. The length of this gamete is about the diameter of a red blood cell.
Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Look at what that parasite is doing. Look at, this is your cells. This is your cells. Look at what it's doing. It's sticking its head and its fangs within the cells.
The youth form of both species are round or oval-shaped. In normal blood tests, those parasites normally remain undetected, as they're hiding inside of the red blood cells.
You see that? So one of the ways that it remains undetected, or they can't seem to pinpoint the disease at an early age, because what happens is the parasite starts to feed and hide within the red blood cells, and that's where it starts to multiply itself, and then it starts to duplicate the DNA, so that your lymph nodes or your lymphocytes, the very thing that protects you, it won't be able to identify if it's an invader or not. So that shows you that parasite is very smart and it know what the hell it's doing. Y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is showing you that this parasite is literally hijacking your cells. This parasite is literally, it's like almost a legion. Y'all remember the legion in the Bible? It starts to take over the host. It starts to duplicate itself and cover itself so it won't be noticeable. And then it starts to produce its thoughts through the host. And the host think it's them or themselves the whole time, not knowing it's not them, but it's a damn demon. It's a parasite. And I don't want to get too religious on y'all, but if you actually look at ancient scrolls and ancient texts, they call parasites demons. They call them demons. And what does a demon do? A demon tries to find a acidic, dark host that it can stay in and do its will and thrive, because the host is not even doing its job to create a protective force around it to even cast the demon out. It was only by one who was whole and healed that it was able to be cast out. Y'all following me?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're the same way with these parasites. These parasites literally are hijacking, taking over, duplicating and replicating the DNA, so it will not be distinguished between the good and bad cells or the good and bad bacteria. And then once it gets it starts to afflict its will on the host, it then starts to turn the cells against each other, and they can't even recognize one from another or who's the real enemy. Does that sound familiar?
Yep.
What that sound like, y'all?
Sounds like us.
Oh, I was muted.
It's us.
So it sound like our people.
It is us.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what it is. It's us. Let's keep going.
They are perfectly camouflaged by the exterior of the blood
Y'all
cells.
see that? Look, they right there. They right there.
Wow.
They sitting right in the cell, so you can't see them move. Now, mind you, keep in mind, remember, let's go back a little bit. Where you go? Now remember, it started like this. So obviously, that's very noticeable, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means your T cells, your B cells, your lymphocytes, your defenders of the body would notice that, which in turn would start to send alerts. So what they do is this. They hide. They hide within your cells. It start to duplicate and inflict their own will within the cell.
Camouflaged by the exterior of the blood cell. The inner of the blood cell also offers plenty of food in the shape of oxygen and hemoglobin.
Y'all heard that?
Yep.
The parasite enters as a so-called merocyte, the youth form into the cell, and fattens up and grows to its full size.
You see that? So the mature parasites, once they have their babies, they'll drop them off within the red blood cells so that they can start to flourish and grow within the cell, y'all. Man, if this ain't hijacking and colonization at its finest, look at that. Look at that.
Gametes inside of the blood cell can be seen here. When the cell has been eaten empty, the sexually mature gamete leaves the cell and looks for a partner to exchange DNA with.
Now they're about to reproduce.
Let's have a closer look at the parasite.
Look at that.
We can see the stick-shaped A and the string-shaped microbes.
Y'all, if y'all pay attention right now,
Both species
y'all see this little dot? You see what my arrow is?
Yes.
Y'all see right here?
Yeah.
These are two parasites for worms having sex. I'm gonna show y'all that. They're about to have sex right here. They're looking. Obviously, they're about to connect. They're literally reproducing, and they're dropping their kids. And don't this sound like in slavery when they used our mothers to breastfeed their children?
Yep.
Y'all starting to look at the body different now, huh?
of a tiny oocyte or merocyte. The youth form is called a trophocyte, which grows up to become a sexually mature gamete. The gamete can be seen here inside of a red blood cell. It excretes one merocyte after the other into the blood plasma.
So now y'all see why you gotta cleanse the blood.
String-shaped type B. Stick and string shape start off as so-called merocytes or oocytes. Here the trophocyte of the string-shaped type.
Y'all see this?
This is the mature string-shaped parasite, the so-called gamete.
Y'all see this? These is live worms, y'all, in your body.
When endangered, the gamete splits up in its survival form, merocytes. Here you can see this division of the microbe as a pearl-like chain. In this way, this gamete becomes again small merocytes.
All right, so now, y'all see the nature, right? Y'all see the nature of a parasite, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now I want to show y'all, I want to really show y'all the function of the lymphatic system so y'all can see how important it is and how you know when you are dealing with cancerous infections or you dealing with inflammation, most likely 100 times over, you are having a lymphatic system issue. Not to say you don't have any other issues, but if you're having any type of inflammation or sickness, that means you have a stagnated or sterilized lymphatic system. And I'm going to show you why. Once you understand the lymphatic system, you will know without a shadow of a doubt that it has to be the lymphatic system down for you to even be getting sick. Y'all ready?
Yep.
Yes.
In a nutshell, the lymphatic system is a drainage system that removes excess fluid from body tissues and returns it to the bloodstream. It's actually a subsystem of both the circulatory and immune system. The major purpose of the circulatory system is to bring oxygen and nutrients to body tissues and
Now, what you'll start to see, if you know anything about the immune system, when you start to actually see the function of the lymphatic system, you'll realize it's the same exact function. So if that's the case, is there really a such thing as an immune system?
No.
Because we know it's a lymphatic system because it's going to produce something called lymph nodes and lymphocytes. So we know that there's a lymphatic system. Is there such thing as immunocytes? Immunoids? No, it's not. The immune system uses lymphocytes and lymph nodes, which shows you that the immune system is the lymphatic system and they're one and the same. You understand?
Yes.
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 Move wastes. This exchange happens in the smallest blood vessels called the capillaries. Blood plasma containing nutrients moves out of capillaries at the arterial end of capillary beds, while tissue fluid containing wastes reabsorbs back in at the venous end. However, not all of the fluid is drawn back to the bloodstream at this point. About 15% of it is left in the tissues and would cause swelling if accumulated. This is where the lymphatic system comes into play. It picks up the excess fluid and returns it to the circulatory system. Unlike the blood circulatory system, which is a closed loop, the lymphatic system is a one-direction, open-ended network of vessels. Lymphatic vessels begin as lymphatic capillaries made of overlapping endothelial cells. The overlapping flaps function as a one-way valve. When fluid accumulates in the tissue, interstitial pressure increases, pushing the flaps inward, opening the gaps between cells, allowing fluid to flow in.
Now write this down too. The biggest fluid system in the body is the lymphatic fluid and the blood. The lymphatic fluid and the blood is the biggest fluids in the body. Everybody got that?
Say it again.
The two biggest fluids within the body is the blood and the lymphatic fluid.
Okay.
As pressure inside the capillary increases, the endothelial cells are pressed outward, closing the gaps, thus preventing backflow.
So what it's talking about is you have something called the lymph capillaries. And what these lymph capillaries do is they have these small little gateways to allow the toxins and the parasites and heavy metals and plaques and all those things to come into there. Once they pretty much have trapped them in there, they seal it so they're no longer flowing throughout the body. So now imagine that those gates never open up. Where is the parasite? Where is the bad bacteria? Where is the heavy metals and plaque? Where is it going in if these gates are closed?
It's
They have
staying
no choice.
otherwise.
Huh?
I said it's
Huh?
staying otherwise.
It stays otherwise. They have no choice but to go back to what it's doing because it cannot be eliminated at that point.
Unlike blood capillaries, the gaps in lymphatic capillaries are so large that they allow bacteria, immune cells such as macrophages, and other large particles to enter. This makes the lymphatic system a useful way for large particles to reach the bloodstream. It is used, for example, for dietary fat absorption in the intestine.
See that?
Once inside lymphatic vessels, the recovered fluid is called lymph. Lymph flow is enabled by the same forces that facilitate blood flow in the veins.
Now again, if you stagnate the lymph or the lymph flow, it would then start to produce an acid reaction, which would then swell up the lymph nodes. You understand?
Yeah.
It goes from lymphatic capillaries to larger and larger lymphatic vessels and eventually drains into the bloodstream via the subclavian veins. On the way, it passes through a number of lymph nodes, which serve as filters, cleansing the fluid before it reaches the bloodstream.
So now you have another filtration system. You have two filtration systems. You have it by way of the kidneys and you have it by way of the lymphatic system. But if the fluid is not being cleansed or filtrated properly, it can become a toxin against you.
Lymph nodes are small bean-shaped structures scattered throughout the lymphatic network. They are most prominent in the areas where the vessels converge. Lymph nodes contain macrophages and dendritic cells that directly swallow up any pathogens,
I want
such
y'all to pay
as
attention.
bacteria or viruses.
The lymphatic system, which now they're trying to talk about is the immune function. Again, it's the same thing because y'all heard what they said. They said the macrophages. These things, these lymph nodes, these things go and they actually they're built to eat acid. Let me say that. They are created to eat acid, chew acid up and spit it out so that the body may live. So now, again, man, I pose the question again. If they're not eating these acids or these toxins, where can the toxins go? It has nowhere to go. It had no place to go except back where it came from, which then will put the body at disease.
That may have been taken up from an infected tissue. They also contain lymphocytes, T cells, and B cells, which are involved in adaptive
So
immune.
now, let me see if anybody can answer this. I'm not expecting nobody to totally get it right, but I'm just going to see. Now, here we go. Here's that function again. One thing is down, that means something else got to be going on. If you have a stagnated lymphatic system and your lymph nodes, and these things, or your macrophages are not eating these things up, but you see that the macrophages are made of T cells and B cells. Can anybody tell me where does T cells come from?
Thyroid.
Nope. Where does the T cells come from? It is a gland, and it does start with a T.
The thyroid gland
Nope.
or the thalamus.
Nope.
It
Almost.
starts with a T.
Yeah. Did you say thymus? Is that what you said?
No, I said thalamus at first.
It's the thymus gland.
Okay.
Mm.
So now, if the thymus gland is the robin of the lymphatic system, specifically the lymph nodes, the macrophages, and these lymph nodes is backed up, which means the T cells, which is being produced and given by the thymus gland, is not able to do its job. That means what also must be backed up? You just said it. If part of the macrophages, the lymph nodes, is made up of T cells, that means if it's stagnated, what else must be stagnated then? Anybody got it? It's the thymus gland. The thymus gland is stagnated because now it can't continue to produce where it's not allowed to even flourish. Therefore, it's backed up. Y'all follow me?
Yes.
Pathogen. These are then carried by the lymph to the bloodstream to be distributed wherever they are needed. The lymphatic system also includes lymphoid organs. Primary lymphoid organs, the thymus and bone marrow, are the sites of lymphocyte production, maturation, and selection. Selection is the process in which lymphocytes learn to distinguish between self and non-self, so they can recognize and destroy pathogens without attacking the body's own cells.
See that? So it's the lymphatic system that teaches the body between the cells that like itself and non-self. That means the cells are being taught. The thymus gland is teaching the cells on who looks like them and who doesn't. Well, we teaching them what their enemy is and who's their comrade. So now, if the thymus gland is down due to a stagnated lymphatic system, therefore no longer producing thymus or T cells within the lymphatic system, and it's down, that means it cannot teach. Therefore, what starts to teach the cells? A colonizer. That colonizer in the body is what, y'all?
Parasites.
Parasites.
Parasites. Because they start to hijack and take over the cells, and now they're teaching the cells to not know a difference between them or their brethren. They're not putting a difference. Notice this is a lot. I want to make sure y'all got this. Are y'all understanding this part?
Yes.
Lymphocytes then leave the primary for the secondary lymphoid organs, the lymph nodes, spleen, and lymphoid nodules, where they encounter pathogens and become activated. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, be sure to check out our new Patreon
Let's get
page.
back to the presentation. So did everybody understand that?
Yes.
Is this pretty simple to understand?
Yeah. To me, it is.
Anybody else? Let me know if it's not. Everybody at? Is this pretty simple for y'all? I want to make sure y'all got this. Shay, can you hear me? Zay, Christian, can y'all hear me? Ariella, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple for y'all.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. All right. So what is the damages of thriving pathogens? Write this down. What damages are done due to the thriving pathogen is a compromised mucosal membrane, is a backed up lymphatic system, shut down kidneys, a compromised skin mucosal membrane, and cellular degeneration. Cellular degeneration. So at this point, you all should know clearly what a disease is. There should be no doubt in anybody's mind at this point what a disease is, what is a parasite, and how they thrive. If you totally understand this thus far, as far as what I just said, take your mic off and say, I got it. Take your mic off mute and say, I got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Everybody else got it?
Sorry,
Yep.
I stepped away. I just got back. What I missed?
I was just asking, is everything I'm saying thus far, is it made simple? Do you got it?
Yes, I got it.
Good. Let's keep going. All right, so what's the results of the body's defense system down? The lymphatic system clears away infections and keep your body's fluid in balance. If it's not working properly, fluid builds in your tissues and causes swelling. And this is what inflammation is, y'all. It's called lymphedema. Lymphedema. Understand that? Lymphedema. It's literally when fluid is built up within the tissues, then inflames the tissues and start to create agglomeration. Other lymphatic system problems can include infections, blockage, and cancer. So that means your lymphatic system is part of the causal reason for cancer. It says healthy kidneys remove waste and extra fluid from your blood. When your kidneys fail, waste and excess fluid can build up in your blood and make you feel sick. Because remember, if the kidneys are filtrating the metabolic waste, and the metabolic waste have nowhere to go except your blood, it then will start to erode and cause a very, very nasty sickness. It says this: you will feel tired and weak because your body needs clean blood to function properly. Untreated uremia may lead to seizures or coma and will ultimately result in death. Here we got another question. This is dealing with not being able to urinate, which then will put stress on the kidneys, which in turn will put stress on what, y'all? If it just said uremia can cause a person a seizure or go into a coma, what is it harming?
The nervous system.
The nervous system is one. What else? Coma.
The brain.
The brain. See, you see that? Are y'all? It's right there. Y'all getting it. Y'all getting it. One thing affects the other. One thing affects the other. So it says this: the major symptom of the mucosal membrane is pemphigoid. It's the development of painful blistering that causes redness, swelling, and breakdown of the mucosal membrane, eventually forming open sores. Now, if you ever had, if understand this, blisters is almost the same. It's actually the same thing as ulcers when you look at it. You understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blisters is ulcers. So now, when you pop a blister or ulcer, what comes out first?
Pus.
Pus, which is what? What is that pus?
Acid. Waste.
It's mucus.
Oh.
It's mucus. So we're showing you that the body is very sick at this point, because if it comes to the point that it has to pierce through the skin mucosa membrane just to have a reaction like that, that means your body is all definitely sick when it has to express itself to the point that it's literally crying out through pus. You understand?
Yeah.
So it says this: disruption of normal regulation of the cell cycle can lead to disease such as cancer. When the cell cycle proceeds without control, cells can divide without order and accumulate genetic errors that can lead to a cancerous tumor. So that's all it is. It's out of control, erratic, zealot cells who are sick and whose energy has been sucked from them and is moving without control and without function or order, and it starts to create genetic errors which can lead to cancerous cells. We cannot make this stuff up here. And we see what allows even any type of pathogen to flourish. The number one thing was meat, because the body was not made to break down meat. How do we know that? Meat stays within the system at least 7 days. At least. Y'all know it's going down. So it says your skin is the largest organ that covers and protects your body. Your skin has many functions. It works to absorb fluid and prevent dehydration, helps feel sensation, and keeps out bacteria, which is bad bacteria, viruses, and infections. stabilizes your body temperature, creates vitamin D. When compromised, skin disease occurs, such as rashes, eczema, acne, alopecia. If y'all didn't know that, alopecia is not just dealing with the nervous system, but it's dealing with the compromised skin mucosa membrane. Y'all see that?
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. So it creates vitamin D when compromised. When compromised, skin disease occurs such as rashes, eczema, acne, alopecia, vitiligo, skin cancer, and cirrhosis. We have that cis at the end, y'all. So what does that mean? We're dealing with what?
Inflammation.
Inflammation. All right. So now I want to teach y'all how you can identify when a person is sick without them even talking. This is called face mapping. Write this down. It's called face mapping. So anytime y'all see the section, the middle section, liver, the eyes, around the eyes is kidneys and liver. On the cheeks is stomach. The colon is right next to the nose and lips, lungs, bladder, small intestines, heart. So anytime, this is how you know, anytime you have a blemish or a mark in them areas, or you break out in small little bumps in the areas, you're having, so let's just say you break out between the eyebrows, number 3, and you have a reaction. You know at that point you having a issue in the liver, which most likely is usually like a black spot with the liver, because it will even put black spots on your eyes. You hear me?
Yep.
Is y'all getting this part? You understand this?
Mhm.
So you know if you have any spots in any of these different areas, that means that's what's going on. If you have an issue at number 3, you have a liver issue. You have an issue at number 1, you have a bladder issue. You have an issue at number 10 or 8, you have a stomach issue. You have kidneys and liver, you have you have issues with the kidneys and liver, black spots on the. All right. And the finale. Y'all wrap this in y'all. Remember, the lymphatic system is the self-defense of the body, correct?
Mhm.
Most of the lymphatic system, so-called immunological system, is in the gut. Okay? So that means if it's mostly there, that means the first thing it's going to start cleansing is the gut. So if the gut obviously is too backed up, it can't do what it do, which then we call inflammation and swelling the gut. So while most people are saying that, oh, people are fat, no, people are not fat. A lot of them have a swelling gut. And that's due to a lot of parasites build up. But it's more so a swollen gut due to parasites rather than just being fat. You understand?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it says all disease starts in the gut. The principal functions of the gastrointestinal tract are to, here's the key word, I highlighted, digest and absorb ingested nutrients and excrete waste products in digestion. So now we are dealing not only with the digestive system, but we're now dealing with the bloodstream, because the nutrients get distributed into the cells of the blood pathway. Then it says to excrete waste products of digestion. Well, excrete or filtrate goes by way of what, y'all? What 2 organs or systems?
I was gonna say kidneys, but
Kidneys, yes, is one.
3.
And what else?
The lymphatic.
Lymphatic system. Lymphatic system. So it says most nutrients are ingested in a form that is either too complex for absorption. What do it mean by too complex? What they call proteins. That's a complex food. Hard to break down, hard to absorb. It's insoluble, indigestible, or incapable of being digested. What is that? What's one of the main things we know can't be digested? Corn, meat, gnarly grains, white potatoes, starches, bread. Hard to break down. It's too thick. Too many complex amino acid structures. When the human body was made simple in form, therefore it's going to be given simple food to eat. So it says, and therefore indigestible or incapable of being digested. The gut consists of these organs, including the mouth. So the mouth starts the gut. The throat is next. The esophagus, the stomach, the small and large intestines, the rectum and anus. If you really look at what's being said, these are all places of defense and places of things being able to be broken down, i.e. your food through your mouth. Remember, you're supposed to at least chew 100 times before swallowing, because then it'll make your digestive system a lot easier throughout the day. Y'all follow?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So the next thing, this is what was taught to me by one of my teachers, Yaki Hickory. He called it the 4 elements, I believe. 4 elements of the body. I call it the four phases of healing. So this is. But he also learned this from I want to say Dr. Layla Africa. But the 4 things that you need to make sure you stay healthy. I want y'all to repeat after me. Everybody get off mute. I want y'all to repeat after me. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ready.
First one, digestion,
Digestion.
absorption,
Absorption.
utilization,
Utilization.
elimination.
Elimination.
These are the 4 phases your body should be going through so that you can live a healthy life. If it's not doing one of these or any of these things, your body right now is getting tore up. If you're not digesting your body right, which in turn is not going to allow you to absorb the food correctly because it's too gnarly and too thick, which means now it's taking longer for you to even utilize the actual nutrients to be delivered to the cells. Therefore, if you do these things, you will have proper elimination. The body made simple. Now, the next quote was by me. I said, eat to eliminate, eliminate to live. Eat to eliminate and eliminate to live. Because you cannot live without eliminating. And nor can you even eliminate without you first eating so that you can digest and absorb and utilize the minerals. Everybody got that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Keep going. So now that we went through all that, now that we went through understanding what true disease is, now that we know what's the cause of disease, now we got to figure out how do we heal our bodies from this death. So it says, just as one created an environment for acid and pathogens to thrive in, one must also create an environment that not only kills the pathogens, but an environment that will allow the organs and cells to flourish. On the electrical level, it was created to flourish on. The body was naturally and perfectly created to heal itself. If we give it the space to, and just like you ate certain foods that bring death to your body, You in turn must give your body living substance that will revitalize the holy temple. Because remember, you are the temple, you are the body. So what we will highly suggest always is an all fruit and juice cleanse. It is the best cleanse out there. I've been able to test it myself. I was taught again by the teacher Yaki Hickman about an all fruit cleanse. He came out with it as far as the main focus. He updated the healing list. You know, everybody was following Dr. Sabi's list. Shout out to Dr. Sabi and his family. Everybody was stuck to the Dr. Sabi's list, not realizing that remember, knowledge shall increase in the last days. Everything will always need an upgrade. Everything. So now it's time to update the information. And we came to realize not only is the Bible true, but healing is true through the fruits. Because remember, if you are sick, that means you're dealing with what? It starts with an I. Shay, what is it? If you're sick, you're dealing with what? It starts with an I.
If you're sick, you're dealing with.
Starts with an I.
I don't know.
Anybody want to give it a shot?
Inflammation.
If you're sick, you're dealing with what?
Inflammation.
You're dealing with inflammation.
Yeah.
Remember, inflammation is fire. It's hot. It's burning. That means you're going to need what to cool it down?
Fruit. Something cooling.
I guess I already said it. You're going to need a coolant. You'll need something, a baby, that carries these nutrients and minerals that the body needs. So it says, with being on an all fruit cleanse, actually, let me start from the top. So it says, fruit carries the most simple amino acids, which you can find on the periodic chart. Amino acids are the building blocks, and yes, I mean building blocks of life. Fruit carries all your essential vital minerals, fibers, antioxidants, and flavonoids and nutrients that the body needs in its raw and pure form. Also carrying H2O, which makes it H3O2, and more beneficial than water itself. With being on an all fruit cleanse, it allows the body to cool down, along with the detoxify the organs from inflammation and give the body proper space to eliminate. Antioxidants attach these free radicals and remove them from the body along with oxygenated cells through iron phosphate and boron. Y'all got that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it. Again, this list was actually created by Yaki. Like I said, because I was able to test it myself time and time again, and I was able to not only test it on my clients, but heal them from the all fruit cleanse. This is now, like I said, the new upgraded cleanse chart, which like I said, for right now, it has been a benefit to my healing, not only of myself, but my people. So I want to continue with that, with the healing, because there is no other food on this earth, no matter how much you dig and think so. There is no other food for us on this earth except a fruit cleanse, which the Bible validates that. Okay? So these are the list of the fruits. You have the detoxified fruits, you have the oxygenated fruits, and you have the rebuilder fruits, which is your melons. These rebuilder fruits are your hydration, full of flavonoids, iron phosphate, calcium, potassium, magnesium. You see? Full of them. That's your hydration fruit. This is a fruit where you want to hydrate. Usually the first thing you should be eating is these type of fruits, because you just came off a cleanse, even if you didn't realize it. And you want to make sure that you put the right substance in your fruit, no matter who or what. You want to make sure you put the right substance. So the next one is oxygenated fruits. These are the electrical fruits that literally reboost your nervous system and your cellular structure. Okay? Very good for the kidneys and the adrenal glands too. The last but not least is the detoxified fruits. These are the fruits that's going to stringe, that's going to pull at those toxins. They're going to pull at them parasites and eliminate them from the body. So you definitely want to make sure you try that category as well. But these are the fruits. You know what I'm saying? It's more obviously fruits. But these are the fruits that you should really be consuming. This is how you start the healing. Put them on all fruit cleans and watch the healing start to happen by itself. Watch it. Watch it start to happen by itself. But this is the key to true healing. Get them on all fruit cleans and watch things change for you. Just watch. But with that being said, that is the end of the presentation. That is the end of the class. Did anybody got any questions?
Yeah, I do. You were just talking about the cleansing. How many times would you recommend someone to like eat throughout the day, as far as like doing the all fruit, eating style?
You can eat as much as possible.
Okay.
Anybody else?
I got a question.
Yeah.
In regards to the lymph nodes, like under the arms, the armpit area. It just made me think of someone I know. They had swollen lymph nodes and stuff, and they were having a lot of issues, and they had them removed. So, yeah, my thought process, like I'm wondering, like, how does that affect them, or how will it start to affect them, and
Yeah, it would affect them a lot because now they didn't get all their lymph nodes in their body.
You said what?
Did they get all the lymph nodes in their body removed?
No.
So, I mean, in that specific area, you said it's the armpits.
Mm-hmm.
They got to be real careful about using deodorant because deodorant actually causes cancer. It actually is the clogs up the pores and the cells in that area. So I would tell them to stop using deodorant if they use them. They use some feline. Anybody else? Any comments on the lesson?
I think it was great. It was a lot, but it was super solid. It was really good.
Shai, you got anything?
It was exciting, man. Learned a lot in one day. Definitely can't wait to go back and watch this over.
Yeah, I need that recording.
Yeah, go back over the notes. So
We good today. I recorded it today, so we good.
Okay, that's what's up.
I'm gonna go ahead and stop this recording real quick. So I'm gonna just say this too. Anybody who's watching the replay, make sure you go back over it again. I know there's a lot of notes. I know there's a lot of information. But if you really take the time to digest the information, you'll actually realize if you can conquer within, you'll start to conquer without. That's the key. You can start conquering within, you can start to conquer without. But it takes to conquer and be at peace within before conquering. So with that being said, I'm gonna stop this recording. Hey y'all.
Yes.
Make sure y'all share the class. Y'all share y'all experience on social media because we are gonna be doing bringing this program back to go through these again. Please make sure y'all share y'all experience. Tag me in it so we can get more people to get this information. Because the more people get this information, the more the healing go out, more people become free from this system that's literally oppressing us, colonizing us in every single way down to food. So please make sure y'all share the information, share your experience, because we plan on making this bigger.
Absolutely.
Got you.
I also wanted to say before we come off of here is that uh, I believe that the class, I don't think that we actually went through the circadian rhythm in the class. I think that we only did that in the um, private meetings. In the meeting that we had, I don't think we did that in the class, because then when we went, because then you were like, okay, are you guys coming to the class? And most people of us were busy, but I came to the class, and the class was not what we had in the meeting um, that I thought that we were going to go over the circadian rhythm that day, and that's not what we went over. So I'm just saying that the class, I think that they missed out on the information on the circadian rhythm.
No, we went over it in the first class. I
We
believe
did?
so. We went over the first class. If you go back to the recording.
Okay. Okay. Well, if they did, then that's not even an issue then.
Y'all got it? Y'all got their notes?
From the first class. No, I don't have that from the first class. Not about the circadian rhythm. I do have it from the meeting. What Ariel was talking about.
You know what? You may be right.
Yeah, I don't see any notes for that.
I'll make sure that I hit on that next class. Okay? My apologies. I thought we went over that. I think you know what? Yeah, I think you're right. I had the meeting and the class on the same day.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go over that next. We'll go over that in detail. You know what? Oh, did y'all order? Did y'all order the capsule machine yet? That's next class. We're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna show y'all how to mix herbs. I'll show you how to mix
We have
herbs.
one. It's not that one though. That one looks like the one that I want to get. So I haven't gotten it though.
Okay. Yeah, so make sure y'all get that, because that's what we're gonna do next time. I'm gonna show you how to make some herbs. I'm gonna give y'all a formula for yourself, and we're gonna have some fun. So that's what I'll do. Before getting into that, I'll teach y'all the circadian rhythm, and then we'll get right to class. All right.
Sounds good.
All right, that's it, y'all. Have a good evening. Have a great day, and I'm gonna talk to y'all soon.
All right.
All right, y'all. Peace.